Welcome, seekers of truth and enlightenment. Today we explore a profound realization that may initially seem harsh but holds the key to immense personal freedom and growth. Nobody cares about you, and that's a good thing. This statement might shock you, perhaps even sting a little, but as we unravel its deeper meaning, you'll discover it's actually your superpower. Let's begin by addressing the elephant in the room. When I say nobody cares about you, I don't mean in the absolute sense. Of course, your loved ones care, and you matter to those closest to you. What I'm referring to is the broader world. The vast majority of people you encounter daily, they're wrapped up in their own lives, concerns, and struggles. Their thoughts rarely, if ever, drift to you and your affairs. Now, your initial reaction might be discomfort or even sadness. We've been conditioned to seek validation and approval from others. The idea that we're not constantly on people's minds can feel isolating. But I invite you to look at this from a different perspective. This reality isn't a curse, it's a blessing in disguise. Think about it. How much energy have you spent worrying about what others think of you? How often have you held back from pursuing your dreams or expressing your true self out of fear of judgment? The truth is, most people are too preoccupied with their own lives to scrutinize yours as closely as you imagine. This realization is liberating. It means you have the freedom to be yourself, to take risks, to fail, to succeed, to explore, and to grow without the weight of constant external judgment. You're free from the invisible audience you've created in your mind. But freedom can be scary. It means taking full responsibility for your life and your choices. It means facing the vast possibilities of who you could be without the comfortable constraints of others' expectations. Are you ready to embrace this freedom? As we dive deeper into this concept, we'll explore how to harness this realization as a superpower. We'll look at practical ways to shed the need for external validation and tap into your authentic self. We'll discuss how this mindset can fuel personal growth, creativity, and genuine connections with others. Remember, the goal isn't to become indifferent or disconnected from others. It's about finding a balance between being part of the world and maintaining your individual identity. It's about living your life on your terms while still contributing positively to the lives of those around you. So, as we continue this exploration, I challenge you to consider, how would your life change if you truly internalize the idea that nobody's watching, nobody's judging, and you're free to be exactly who you are? What dreams would you pursue? What fears would you conquer? What parts of yourself would you finally allow to shine? This journey of self-discovery and empowerment starts with accepting a simple truth. Nobody cares about you as much as you think they do, and that's not just okay. It's fantastic. It's your ticket to living a life true to yourself, unburdened by the imaginary expectations of others. As we venture deeper into the liberating truth that nobody cares about you, we uncover a world of possibilities previously hidden by our fears and insecurities. This realization is like removing heavy chains that have long bound us to the opinions and expectations of others. Now we stand at the threshold of true freedom, ready to explore the vast landscape of our potential. Consider, for a moment, the energy you've expended throughout your life trying to impress others, to fit in, to be what you thought the world wanted you to be. This energy, this life force, has been flowing outward, seeking validation from external sources. But what if you could redirect that energy inward? What if you could channel it into discovering and nurturing your true self? This is the essence of the superpower we're cultivating. It's not about becoming invisible or disconnected from the world. It's about recognizing that your worth, your happiness, and your success are not determined by the fleeting attention or approval of others. They come from within, from aligning your actions with your values, from pursuing your passions without fear of judgment. Think of yourself as a blank canvas. Up until now, you may have allowed others to paint on this canvas, to dictate the colors and shapes of your life. But armed with the knowledge that nobody truly cares, you now hold the brush. You have the power to create a masterpiece that is uniquely yours. This freedom can be daunting at first. Without the familiar constraints of societal expectations, you might feel lost, unsure of how to proceed. This is normal. Freedom requires responsibility. It demands that you make choices based on your own values and desires, not on what you think will earn you praise or avoid criticism. How do we navigate this newfound freedom? It starts with self-discovery. When you're no longer performing for an audience, who are you really? What brings you joy? What ignites your passion? What values do you hold dear? These questions may seem simple, but answering them honestly, without the filter of others' expectations, can be profoundly transformative. As you explore these questions, you'll likely encounter resistance from within. Old habits of seeking validation die hard. You might catch yourself wondering what others would think of your choices. When this happens, gently remind yourself they're not thinking about you. They're wrapped up in their own lives, their own struggles, their own journeys. This isn't a reason for sadness. It's a cause for celebration. It means you're free to experiment, to make mistakes, to learn and grow without the crushing weight of public scrutiny. Every misstep is a private lesson, every victory a personal triumph. But here's a crucial point. This freedom isn't a license for selfishness or disregard for others. In fact, when you're no longer consumed by what others think of you, you're better equipped to form genuine connections. You can listen without judgment, offer support without expectation, and love without conditions. Your relationships become more authentic because they're based on who you truly are, not who you think you should be. As you embrace this freedom, you'll notice a shift in your perception of the world. Situations that once seemed threatening, public speaking, pursuing a new career, expressing an unpopular opinion, become opportunities for growth and self-expression. The fear of failure diminishes because you understand that in the grand scheme of things, your individual failures don't register in the minds of others. This mindset is particularly powerful in the age of social media, where the illusion of constant observation can be overwhelming. Remember, those carefully curated posts and profiles are just that, illusions. Behind each one is a person just as complex, just as insecure, and just as focused on their own life as you are. So, I challenge you to take a step into the unknown. Do something you've always wanted to do but held back from out of fear of judgment. It could be as simple as wearing an outfit you love but thought was too bold, or as significant as pursuing a long-held dream. Notice how the world doesn't stop turning. Notice how life goes on. And most importantly, notice how you feel when you act from a place of authenticity rather than fear. This is just the beginning of harnessing your superpower. As we continue, we'll explore more ways to solidify this mindset and use it to create a life that's truly your own. In this chapter of our journey, we delve into the transformative process of turning the world's indifference into your greatest strength. Like the alchemists of old who sought to turn base metals into gold, we now embark on the spiritual alchemy of turning perceived neglect into personal power. The realization that nobody cares about you as much as you think they do is the raw material of our alchemical process. At first glance, it may seem like a lump of lead, heavy, dull, and burdensome. But as we apply the heat of introspection and the catalysts of wisdom, this lead begins to shimmer with golden potential. Let's start by examining the nature of this indifference. It's not personal. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's simply the natural state of a world where each individual is the protagonist of their own story. Just as you are not constantly thinking about others, they are not constantly thinking about you. This universal truth levels the playing field. We're all in the same boat, each of us free to chart our own course. Now, how do we begin this alchemical transformation? The first step is acceptance. Fully embrace the fact that you are not the center of anyone else's universe but your own. Feel the weight of external expectations lift from your shoulders. Breathe in the crisp air of possibility that rushes in to fill the void. As you accept this truth, you'll notice a shift in your energy. The mental and emotional resources you once spent on managing others' perceptions of you are now available for self-improvement and personal growth. It's as if you've discovered a wellspring of vitality within yourself that was previously untapped. This newfound energy is the elixir of personal power. But how do we use it wisely? The key lies in redirecting your focus inward. Instead of asking, "What do others think of me?" start asking, "What do I think of myself?" This simple shift in perspective is revolutionary. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. As you cultivate this inward focus, you'll begin to notice the unique gifts and talents that make you who you are. These are the building blocks of your authentic self, the gold hidden within the lead. Perhaps you have a creative spark that you've been too afraid to nurture. Maybe you possess a unique perspective that you've been hesitant to share. Now is the time to explore these aspects of yourself without fear of judgment. But be warned, this process of self-discovery can be challenging. As you peel away the layers of societal conditioning and self-doubt, you may encounter aspects of yourself that you've long suppressed. Embrace these parts of yourself with compassion and curiosity. They are not flaws to be fixed, but facets of your being to be integrated and understood. As you continue this alchemical process, you'll find that your interactions with others begin to change. When you're no longer seeking validation from every interaction, you become more present, more authentic. Paradoxically, this often leads to deeper, more meaningful connections. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin, who exude a quiet confidence that comes from self-acceptance. This transformation also affects how you handle criticism and praise. When you're no longer dependent on others' opinions for your sense of self-worth, both lose their power over you. Criticism becomes information to be evaluated objectively, not a threat to your identity. Praise becomes a pleasant bonus, not a necessary fuel for your self-esteem. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of this alchemical process is how it changes your relationship with failure. When you truly internalize that nobody cares about your failures as much as you do, you free yourself to take risks, to experiment, to learn and grow. Each failure becomes a step on the path to success, rather than a devastating setback. As we near the end of this part of our journey, I invite you to reflect on how you've been viewing the world's indifference up until now. Have you seen it as a harsh reality to be feared, or as the liberating truth that it is? Can you feel the alchemical process beginning within you, transmuting that indifference into personal power? Remember, this transformation is not instantaneous. It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery and growth. There will be days when you slip back into old patterns of seeking external validation. When this happens, gently remind yourself of the truth we've uncovered. Nobody cares, and that's your superpower. As we approach the culmination of our spiritual odyssey, we find ourselves standing at the precipice of a new beginning. Like the mythical phoenix, we are poised to rise from the ashes of our former selves, a self that was burdened by the weight of others' expectations and judgments. Now, armed with the liberating knowledge that nobody truly cares about us as much as we thought, we spread our wings, ready to soar into the vast expanse of our potential. This final stage of our journey is about fully embodying the superpower we've uncovered. It's about living each day with a deep-seated understanding that we are free to be our authentic selves, to pursue our dreams with abandon, and to face our fears without the paralysis of imagined judgment. Consider for a moment how you've changed since we began this exploration. Perhaps you've noticed a lightness in your step, a clarity in your thoughts, or a newfound courage in your actions. These are the first fruits of your transformation. But the real magic happens when you allow this understanding to permeate every aspect of your life. Imagine approaching your work with the knowledge that your worth isn't determined by your colleagues' opinions. How much more creative and innovative could you be if you weren't constantly second-guessing yourself? Picture pursuing your passions without the nagging voice of societal expectations holding you back. What dreams have you put on hold that you could now breathe life into? This unburdened state isn't about becoming selfish or disconnected from others. On the contrary, it allows for deeper, more authentic connections. When you're not constantly performing or seeking approval, you create space for genuine interactions. You listen more intently, empathize more deeply, and love more freely because your energy isn't consumed by managing others' perceptions of you. But let's be clear, embracing this superpower doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy or free of challenges. You'll still face obstacles, experience setbacks, and encounter difficult people. The difference lies in how you approach these situations. Instead of being derailed by every criticism or setback, you'll have the inner stability to weather these storms with grace and resilience. This resilience stems from a profound shift in your source of validation. When you truly internalize that your worth comes from within, not from the fickle opinions of others, you become unshakable. Like a mighty oak tree with deep roots, you can bend with the winds of life without breaking. As you move forward, carrying this wisdom with you, I challenge you to regularly check in with yourself. Ask, Am I making this decision based on what I truly want, or am I still being influenced by imagined expectations? Am I holding back out of fear of judgment, or am I freely expressing my authentic self? Use these questions as a compass to guide you back to your truth when you find yourself slipping into old patterns. Remember, this journey of self-discovery and empowerment is ongoing. There will be moments when you falter, when the old fears and insecurities resurface. In these moments, be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that even these struggles are part of your unique journey, unseen and unjudged by the world at large. As we conclude, I invite you to take a moment to envision the life you could lead, fully embracing this superpower. See yourself moving through the world with confidence and ease, unburdened by the need for constant approval. Picture the goals you'll achieve, the relationships you'll nurture, and the impact you'll make when you're operating from a place of authenticity and self-assurance. This vision isn't a far-off dream. It's a reality that's within your grasp. Every time you choose authenticity over conformity, every time you take a risk without fear of judgment, every time you love yourself unconditionally, you're bringing this vision to life. You are the unburdened phoenix, rising from the ashes of societal expectations and self-doubt. Your superpower, the liberating truth that nobody cares as much as you thought, gives you wings to soar to heights you've never before imagined. The vastness of your potential stretches out before you, waiting to be explored. Spread your wings, dear seeker. Embrace the freedom that comes with knowing that the only expectations that truly matter are your own. Let the world's indifference be the wind beneath your wings, propelling you towards a life of authenticity, purpose, and unbridled joy. Remember, in the grand tapestry of existence, you are both the weaver and the masterpiece. Create boldly, live freely, and soar high.